स्पॉटलाइट में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं आपकी होस्ट अमीता। Join me weekly as I talk to inspiring guests who will share their success stories. आज हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में है एक सक्सेसफुल चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट who believes in giving back to the community through various social causes and charitable organizations. He's in fact the treasurer for the Sringeri Vidya Bharati Foundation. It's my pleasure to welcome to our studio Mr. Chand Kapoor. स्पॉटलाइट में आपका स्वागत है मिस्टर कपूर।
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
पहले कुछ जानना चाहेंगे आपके बारे में, अबाउट योर अपब्रिंगिंग, अबाउट योर एजुकेशन और आपका कनाडा में आना कैसे हुआ।
मैं हिंदुस्तान दिल्ली से हूँ। मेरी सारी एजुकेशन दिल्ली में हुई, हाई स्कूल, देन आई डिड माय BCom and then I did my CA from Delhi itself. And when I was growing up at that time, there was a big craze to come down to the western side of the world. So that's how I came down to this part of the world. And when I landed with a Jewish firm, accounting firm, and started my career with the same firm, continued all through basically, and became a partner after a year or so in that firm, and then continued my practice there. I always liked the profession because I'm a family. My father was a regional manager with Central Bank of India, so I always saw him running with the figures and handling with all this. So that inspired me to be into the CA profession.
So as you were growing up, you were already exposed to the field. जैसे कहते हैं खून में है, it's in the blood.
Yes, it's a genetic.
It's been passed on.
That's right.
And then it's great कि आपने वही profession यहाँ पर भी लाई, and now you're helping the people for years.
That's right.
And beyond being in that mainstream community, you're taking that profession to help others within our South Asian community as well.
Yes.
इसलिए तो आप है treasurer of the Sringeri Vidya Bharati Foundation. So tell us a little bit more about that.
The Sringeri Vidya Bharati Foundation concept, one of my friend Ravi Subramaniam with Dr. Lucky, brought up the idea of bringing a temple with a banquet facility. We have the temples here in Toronto, a lot of temples are here. Do they have also a facility for the food and serving food? But didn't find any facility which can cater the need of wedding receptions and big events to be organized right beside the temple also, because the temple always goes along with the reception, because you have to go through the religious ceremony of the marriage. So the idea came up that there are a lot of people in the GTA where there is an affordability issue and they cannot celebrate these big occasions in a proper way. So the idea came up that we should build up a temple of a sizable size. Basically, it's a 10,000 square feet temple with a banquet facility which can accommodate over 800 people.
Wow.
The focus was mainly because the affordability. We find that the parents do want to celebrate their loved ones' occasions, wedding, birthdays, and all this thing, but due to the challenges of the finance, they restrain or they cut it down. So we always try and work it out with the budget of the client or the devotees, and so we try and do this thing. And it is hall not only meant for these purposes, it's meant for all the other. We have yoga classes there. We have the student, fair also there. So there are a lot of activities we are involved in that beyond the events happening there basically.
So all in all, a community center jaisa hai. Like you started with the goal of providing, reception services at an affordable rate, but beyond that it grew, I guess, with your support and then with the feedback from the community.
That's right. Idea was not a banquet hall, it was a community center, but we created like a banquet hall. We provided all the high-end, finishing of the community center so that the events can happen in a good, presentable way, basically.
I have to ask you, was it your background as a chartered accountant founded that ended you up having as a position as a treasurer at the foundation? I heard that you are helping overall, you have a hand in overall activities, but why treasurer? Would it be your chartered accountant
Because
background?
in the beginning, when we started this project, we started the project with the bank financing, and I'm quite familiar with the process involved in finance. It's always a challenge to raise the fund or especially from the banking perspective. They are very hesitant to lend the money to the charitable organization. But we were very, very fortunate that we could put the project together and we could do it. And the Sringeri Vidya Bharati Foundation is affiliated with a very large organization in India, which is Sringeri Math in the south, and they have over 100 temples in India. And the best thing I like about this organization is that they teach the children right from the young age the Vedas, the values, and all this thing. I happened to go to the Math before I started the project with Ravi, and what I found out that a heaven on the earth, I would call it, that Math, where I stayed for a few days and I felt totally different about myself when I went there. That's how I get connected with the.
And that connection, you're taking it beyond. So,
that's right.
Aap hai chartered accountant, and you got involved with the community based on that experience. And now you're telling us that you have found that wellness from within, and you've taken that as well into the community, and you're helping. Like you found that spiritual being from within, and you're taking that to the community now. यहाँ ज़्यादातर Western world में we try to heal the people with medications, लेकिन आप spiritual side से उनको heal करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. That's why you're involved with the Canadian Rehab Center, I assume?
Yes.
So tell us more.
I have a partner who is a doctor, Lipretti, with the Italian background. I happened to discuss with him certain issues what our young generation is facing here, and the major issue is the addiction. Basically, addiction could be the gaming addiction. It could be the drugs, or it could be the liquor, or the addiction is there. So there are rehabs in GTA which are focused mainly the remedies with the medicine, and that's where I always felt uncomfortable. I don't have the medical background, but I always felt that we are pulling the patient from one challenge to another challenge, basically. And most of the time when the medicine course is finished, there is always an issue of depression, or there is always an issue involved. So I thought, like, our mind has a lot of power, our body has a lot of energy to cure itself, basically. And this is where I thought a process and discuss with this doctor, and we happened to come to a property near Peter Hope, and this property is used to be a school where they were teaching Bible, and happened to be on the sale.
Oh, wow.
And they had 36 beds in already there for the students. So we thought of converting it into a rehab center, basically. The idea of this rehab center is that we should try and cure the patient with the therapy, with the food. I believe the food, if you intake the right kind of a food, it has a lot of positive energy in your body and mind, basically.
Nature has healing powers.
And this place is all surrounded by a lot of openness, trees, and the natural beauty, basically, and exercise and the yoga and meditation. That's where my main focus was there. That I do believe in yoga, I do believe in meditation, because I feel that when you go within you, you find yourself different than what you are, basically.
Love it. The light within you.
That's right.
Yeah.
So everybody knows about this. This is nothing I'm talking new, basically. Everybody has the awareness of it, but whenever we get into some challenges and somewhere difficulties, we lose this track of mind, basically.
Or we don't practice it.
That's
we just
right.
preach it.
That's right. Reaching is always very easy. So our idea is that we should try and create a facility where our focus is yes, if there are some patient which definitely needs a little medicine to control their anger or challenges, but focus is not on the medicine. We try and bring them on a complete food chart with the dietitian, and try and put them into a regular exercise, take them for golfing, take them for
nice.
outdoor activities. So their chart is there, and try and keep them away from their addiction, basically, whatever their addiction is, basically.
Okay, yeah.
So their involvement into the nature, involvement into their exercise, involvement within themselves also, hoping that this will definitely be a positive thought.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful idea. Like, it's instead of dealing with that chemical imbalance, whatever you want, from an outside chemical, why not use our own body's healing chemicals and, exercise, like you said, whether it be yoga, physical fitness in any form, it does release our body's positive chemicals. So that's a wonderful idea, like healing the person as a whole, because then with medications, we often hear, like, you can have relapses if you stop the medication.
That's where the challenges are. Most of the time, it relapses and people get into further bigger mess than what they were.
What they initially started with. What a wonderful idea with the Canadian Rehab Center. And you're taking usi theory ko aap le ja rahe hain community में भी, not just at this facility. So tell us a little bit more about this intriguing project, Meet Your Mind.
I happened to meet a wonderful lady last month. She happened to come to my office and introduce herself. She's a spiritual healer. Normally, I don't believe on all this thing, basically, but when I discussed with her, her approach is saying that I don't do anything. It's you who is going to do it. Meet your mind, love your mind. These were her stand on the whole spiritual healing. She says, I have the power to make you aware of your powers, basically. So this is what I like about it. When she says that meet your mind means that your mind has a lot of power, exercise your own power, basically. And this is where I believe a lot, basically.
Yeah, no, that is amazing. Like, a lot of people, we get lost in the rut of the everyday life and forget that, there is power within us. And wohi to aap Canadian Rehab Center mein bhi kar rahe hain. And then what are we going to hear about Meet Your Mind? Is it going to be a seminar, a series?
So what she has some meditation kriya, like it's called Om Kriya, basically. And she'll be here for, fortunately, for 2.5 weeks in month of August. She's coming here on 7th, and she'll be here till 25th of August. And we'll organize at Shingeri also and other temples her, Om Kriya also, and the other methods of recognizing yourself, basically. And what I felt when I met her, that she does have a power and she does have the skill to make you aware your own strength, basically. Okay. So this is what I like about the whole thing. Awesome. I don't believe that somebody else can do wonders for you. It is you who has to do the wonders for yourself, basically.
Love it. And so now it's coming to the community, people can participate in it. And there's so much inspiration coming from you right now, and there's more. So Mr. Kapoor, aap bata rahe the, like, finding that love for you will help you heal as a whole. And you're taking that to overseas as well. You're involved with a school in India called Amar Jyoti. Tell us more about that.
This is a school started by my cousin. Started the school under a tree, basically. And this school has 600 children at present, with 300 physically challenged kids. And that school is equipped with the education, their medical treatment, artificial limbs making. So that school has grown to a stage where all the needs of these challenge kids are being met. Idea of having a school like this is that our message is very, very clear. And that message my sister started was the disability is not an ability. We should not look down at the kids when we see them in any way form of challenges, basically. Everybody is born with the challenges. Everybody goes through the challenges. Once you meet your challenges, there are no challenges.
Yeah, it's a spectrum. Everybody,
that's right.
Yeah.
So why are we looking down at these kids and saying that, hey, we should feel pity about these kids? They are in no way, form or shape less than a normal human being, basically. They can do anything. They can achieve anything. In 2007, when I had these kids, over 20 kids, they performed on the stage martial art.
Wow.
In the crutches, on the crutches and in the wheelchair. And the boy with no hands, with his toe, did the martial art. Breathtaking experience. I mean, I thought I got these children to give them something, but in fact, I learned a lot from them. I thought my challenges were very big, but when I saw their challenges and how they're meeting their challenges, I felt very small in front of them, basically. I have no challenges, I'm telling you. And thereafter in my life, I never felt any challenges of my life.
That's quite inspirational. Like, it's about finding that right mentor, kabhi. And
That's
I think when society as a whole uses the pity to look at somebody with a disability, that's why they then think cannot reach their potential. Like, in thanks to people like you and your cousin, you know, who are taking kids like that and telling them they have their own potential that they have to reach. And the showcase you said in 2006, 2007, I'm sorry, I missed it. Are we going to see some more showcases?
Yes, planning to have them over again in 2016.
There we go.
There'll be 20 kids. Again, they'll be performing all these again back on the stage. And we are just trying to convey the message, the awareness that, you know, we have challenges. Everybody has challenges. Just meet the challenges. And once you see these children with no hands, no legs performing and showing their energy on stage, and it's not only performing and on the stage they are doing it. These kids are getting their education. The child I was referring about, no hands, he wants to be a doctor. His dream of becoming a doctor, he wants an artificial, hands, and he wants to become a doctor, and he's working towards his medical profession. So this is where my message, including myself, to everybody is that whatever challenges we have it in our life, as long as we meet it, it's nothing there. We should never take the excuses of our challenges.
Very well said. We always say the grass is greener on the other side, but when you hear about stories like this, it's quite inspirational that we can meet our aspirations, and whatever challenges that life throws at us, it is possible to overcome them. And sometimes we just need guidance and help from others like yourself. That's amazing. You do so much, Mr. Kapoor. You're a chartered accountant, very busy profession. You're successful in it. You're giving back to the community through organizations like Stringari. Then you're going to bring it to the community with Meet Your Mind. You're helping overseas. Wow, how do you do it all? And in addition to that, you're actually promoting our culture, South Asian culture, for example, by being the chair of the Gerard India Bazaar. So tell us more.
Gerard India Bazaar, I used to have a restaurant on Gerard India Bazaar, along with my profession, because I always loved music, dance. So that was the first restaurant on Gerard, which started live music on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Nice. I'm going back in 95.
You set the trend.
Yeah, I set the trend. And I used to dance also. I love dancing because I feel that a lot of your challenges, a lot of your difficulties are met when you're in music, when you're in dancing, basically.
Healing through music.
That's right. I believe in it, basically.
Nice.
So that's how I got involved in Gerard Street, and I find the merchants are working very hard on the street, and they have been there for a long time and establishing there, and they have this BIA organization. So I got involved into the BIA organization, trying to improve the bazaar, basically. So I've been their chair for the last 4 years. This is my 5th year of the chair. And our focus is to have as you know, that we have this TD South Asia Festival. In fact, we're going to have a festival on August 15th and 16th. And it's going to be it's going to be a very big festival where there'll be a couple of 100,000 people on the street, because we close the street on those 2 days. And message is again the simple. We want all the people living in the neighborhood to know our culture. how we live basically, what is our food, what is our clothing. So most of the people on those 2 days are I would say 50 to 60% is non-Indians, non-Asian, not their neighborhood or the Canadians. They want to blend with us also. They want to know it.
Love it. So cultural inclusion.
That's right. That's what our focus is basically. And we have been doing it. This is our 13th year of doing it. And my approach is that show the world what our culture is, what our values are. And believe me, they love it.
Love it. Like you bring together everything. You are practicing what you preach, like loving yourself, so indulging in your passions and helping yourself and helping others. And beyond all this, you also have a lovely family. Do you have some time to spend with your family?
Yeah, I do have. I have 3 beautiful children very close to me. My daughter is working towards her law degree, and my son has done his insurance agent and he's working with Home Financial. Now he has a field to go back into Bollywood, and he's these days in the Bollywood doing an audition. So I don't stop my children for anything. I tell them, explore your life whichever way you feel comfortable. It's your life, you have to live. So do whatever best you can do it in your life, whichever way you feel.
Very well said.
Because profession is like a marriage. When you do something, you have to be committed.
Wow. Very well said. Well, Mr. Kapoor, you are such an inspiration inside out. Thank you so much for taking the time to come to our studio and talking to us and inspiring our viewers and telling us how it all comes from within and you can make a difference for yourself and the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts. Thank you.
तो ये थे मिस्टर चांद कपूर जिन्होंने हमें एहसास दिलाया है कि गिविंग बैक टू द कम्युनिटी दैट हेल्प बिल्ड अस इज की टू माइंड एंड सोल वेलनेस. Well, that's a wrap for this week's show. Continue to follow us on Twitter and Facebook and write to me at vjamithaspotlight@gmail.com. We will continue to bring you inspiring guests who will share their success stories. Until next week, this is Amitha signing off, encouraging you to be your own spotlight and help your community.